All right, so I have not posted to this fitness channel in over 3 years. Um, One of the more popular videos that I actually uploaded to this channel was a video on how putting on muscle saved my life. I found it funny. Most of the comments, or a lot of the comments, were like, "Man, this guy doesn't even look like he has muscle." I have muscle. I'm not like ginormous, but I have muscle. All right. Um, and in the video, I explained how putting on muscle changed my outlook on life, helped me out. And, one of the biggest reasons that I had gotten into that was I had been bullied, I'd been rejected. So putting on muscle helped me through life. And one of the biggest factors, and I don't think I emphasize it, but, I put it on there, was the biggest push in me improving every single time to get in better shape or get bigger or get better lifts was Heartbreak. That was legitimately 100% it. Initially I put on some muscle to attract girls, and then I attracted a girl I really, fell in love with. Then I got my heart broken, and I went from someone who had focused a lot on being stronger and bigger, all right, to someone who wanted a more streamlined physique. And I took an entire year. I didn't date anybody. I just, pretty much dieted and dieted and dieted, and ended up having a more streamlined physique. And as I got into another relationship, got my heart broken, and then I got a more streamlined, bigger physique. And as time passed, eventually, I kept getting better and better. That's, just the basic synopsis of those decades, if you will. So here I am, in the trenches again. I am heartbroken plus like 10 days. So, well, we'll say 9 days, because that first day it was just me ruminating through all the thoughts. Why? How could this happen to me? Why did she do this? All those things. And here I am on a journey again. And to begin with, I'm already 10 pounds down. So one of the biggest factors is putting on muscle did change my life. It changed my approach to things. It made me more confident in myself. It allowed my ability to talk to women to be easier. It allowed women actually approached me. It increased my market value, if you will, if you want to use that kind of language. But it doesn't protect you from getting your feelings hurt, not in the slightest. And I mean, it didn't protect me from the knife attack when I got jumped by two, gangbangers with knives and got stabbed repeatedly, but it did definitely help me win the fight. So, one for muscle there. So, the biggest thing that does help me, though, isn't necessarily the muscle, but the journey to put on the muscle, the journey to go ahead and hit the gym and diet and hone in on all those things and make myself a better person coming out of the heartbreak. And I mean, this heartbreak is a heartbreak that hurts. I mean, every heartbreak hurts, right? This is a long-term heartbreak. This is a 6-year heartbreak. And I'm looking at, wow, 6 years gone. What do I do from here? And I had been complacent. I hadn't stopped going to the gym, but I've legitimately, no bullshit, I was dieting for about 12 weeks before my heartbreak, and total amount of weight lost was like 1 pound. I was legitimately doing the bare minimum, making excuses. I wasn't motivated. I wasn't myself. I wasn't the person I was when the heartbreak was there, when the pain was there. And that is a just driving factor that pushes you. It's amazing how you can use that energy and kind of transform it into something so positive and beneficial for yourself. So, 12 weeks of dieting. I had, pretty much gone on my normal low carb type diet, high protein diet. The problem was I was doing the bare minimum cardio, and then I was eating too much. I've never been one to measure my calories, so I was just eating too much. And then like my typical Saturday, I'm pretty regimented Monday through Friday if I'm at work and stuff, but my typical Saturday would be wake up. I wouldn't do cardio. I'm like, I need a rest day, so I did no cardio on Saturday. I'd sit around watching TV, eat breakfast, take snack because I'm bored, and then I would take a nap, wake up, eat some more, snack some more, and then Sunday I wouldn't do cardio. I'm like, oh, it's leg day, so I'm not going to do cardio. And basically over this 12 week period, it's been almost 12 weeks that I was dieting. I lost 1 pound. Now, since my heartbreak to now, All right, this is within a 9-day period. I'm down 10 pounds. Yeah, some of it's probably water weight, but I'm down 10 pounds. I'm on a journey. I'm motivated, and I missed this part of me. That's the craziest thing about it, is the kind of the bounce back. You know, the hit rock bottom, but man, I'm gonna bounce back, and I've bounced back repeatedly and repeatedly. And you know, I was in a marriage, got fat, bounced back like a mother. I mean, Jesus, you know, and that was I was not, I'm gonna be honest with you, in as much pain about that one as I am in about this one. This is pain I have. And I remember the Thursday I found out, that Thursday night, I was sitting on the bed, and the first thing that was running through my mind was, well, let me hook up with somebody. You know, that'll make me feel better. And so I'm rolling through my phone, seeing who it is, and then I you know, it hits me. I'm like, that's not me though. I'm not one to go for the meaningless sex, and then two, I'm not one to use someone for the meaningless sex. It's just not me. And then it hit me again. I don't want to lose this pain, because during this pain, or during that period, I reconnected with a piece of myself, just a piece of myself that I had put away somewhere in my head, that I felt, you know, I was comfortable times. I put that animal away. That beast, that part of me that fights. I mean, this is the part of me that, when I was training in law enforcement, there was a situation they put us in, and it's a training scenario. So you're training to be a use of force instructor, right? And so you go through every use of force weapon you have, up to including your gun, right? So the use of gun, and you know, this is hands-on. It's kind of an MMA based thing, and you go through several scenarios in which, you know, that you use verbal judo, or you use actual kind of judo or MMA tactics, or they're called mechanical control holds. And there's a scenario they put everyone through that's going to be an instructor that they don't tell you about it before that scenario, because you do several scenarios, and a lot of them are. It's a scenario in which it's you and three people. It's 3 perps, right? And you're pulling them out of the car, and it gets physical. And they took me to the ground. Now, mind you, these 3 perps are also 3 other instructors. They're not just, you know, regular people. These are people that can fight. So it's you against these 3 perps, and I fought like hell. I fought like hell against these 3 guys, and eventually they got me pinned on the ground, and they took my sidearm, and they, you know, pretended to shoot me with it. Boom, scenario over. Whew, that woke up that beast in me. But that beast in me that was in my head was like, this is never going to happen to you again. And what they explained to you after the scenario is that it's an impossible to win scenario. You're not supposed to win the scenario. No one has won the scenario in their certification process. It's an impossible to win scenario, because it's supposed to ground you that sometimes there is no inevitable, or it's inevitable to be able to win that. And I can't accept that for the life of me. But it was based on an actual incident that happened with a Texas state trooper, where he was, you know, taken to the ground by 3 guys, and they ended up killing him with his own sidearm. And I remember the beast in me, man. That beast in me woke up after that. And man, the gym sessions were just crazy, because I was like, I am not ever going to have that feeling again. And obviously, if that ever did actually happen to me, I wouldn't have that feeling again, because I would have been dead. But I was like, you know, I am going to fight the rest of my life. I am not. And I remember I fought to the point where I could not, I was blacking out, because they were all on top of me. They pinned me to the ground, and I was blacking out, and I couldn't breathe anymore. And that's when, you know, I felt them just pull the gun out of the retention clip, and or the retention holster, and then he goes bang, bang. So I'm in a similar situation right here, where it feels like it's an impossible situation, but it's not. It's never been, you know, I've had several breakups. It's never been an impossible to win situation, but it's one where, man, I'm enjoying this. These 9 days have been amazing. I can't wait to do cardio. And in fact, I have to like be careful, because the last time I had this, when I got into super great shape, I had Heartbreak again, and I pushed myself so hard. I remember I pushed myself so hard in the gym squatting that one of my testicles kind of exploded, and I might have loaded this onto this channel. If not, it's on my other channel. I don't know. What ended up happening was I squatted. I was squatting, and I pushed myself so hard on such a heavy weight. And apparently sometimes the urethral flow can go backwards and into your actual testicles, and it went into one of my testicles and just one of those. And the next day I woke up to try to do my run, and man, I had some swelling down there. And as the day went, I felt it initially. It felt weird. It felt like a weird feeling at the gym, but I didn't pay attention to it. I kind of just shrugged it off. And then by noon that day, my testicle was like this big, and I went to the hospital, and they checked it, and they're like, yeah, this is what happened. So I put in a catheter. I was urinating blood like crazy. It was a situation where I became a danger to myself because I was so motivated, and I am so motivated right now that I need to be very, very careful about pulling that back, because I already kind of like pulled my hamstring a little bit trying to run too much. So, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying this journey, and hopefully, I can catalog how far I'm coming along, because, it's important to be able to bounce back. It's important as a healing process for yourself to use that rage. And that's the thing is, like, I don't want this rage to go away. Every minute of the fact that she betrayed me and hurt me. I mean, it hurts, but I could never get a pre-workout as strong as what I have right now. And I'm actually like, I fear the day that it doesn't hurt like it does, because it won't push me like it's pushing me right now. And if you're in a similar situation, that's one of the things you need to kind of focus on is, what, this pain, this heartbreak, this energy can be converted into something positive for yourself, a positive journey for yourself. And I'm going to shout out to Esqueleto. I'm not going to use his real name, but that's what we used to call him. It's obvious that Heartbreak drove this young man, because he went from being someone who, was built like Screech. We called him Esqueleto or Skeleton back in high school. And now you look at him, and he's Diesel, like Ryan Reynolds, playing a superhero Diesel. And he looks amazing. And that's obviously pain. The pain that pushed him to kind of supersede and become better and keep pushing and transform yourself. And I missed this me. I really did miss this me. This me is with me every day now. That survivor, that one that popped up and said, hey, I'm never going to let anyone kill you. I'm never going to let anything like this happen to you again. And he'd been there before, every time I got my heart broken, except the first time I got my heart broken, I was just a mess. And an actual physical friend had to be the one who's like slapping me and telling me, hey, you need to get off your ass. You need to do something about this. And I learned how to better deal with the pain. And yes, the pain hurts. It hurts. It does. And your brain is your worst enemy, because it keeps throwing these things into you. But as long as you're able to go ahead and get all that together and bundle up and use it as a positive tool to change, you will change. And I hope any of you that are unfortunately in a situation where you're heartbroken, you're betrayed, you just, wow, who was I with? How did this person whom I would have left everything to, that I worked everything for, so easily betray me? That's pain. And that's pain that rationally you're like, all this time I've wasted, but now I don't have that much time left, and I got to use the little bit of time I got left to make myself better. And I am on a journey to make myself better. And hopefully this is one of many where I'm going to show you guys how I did transform my physique, because again, I've been in decent shape because I keep lifting weights, but I'd gained some pounds. I wasn't lifting as heavy. I have an excuse. I was making excuses for everything. I tore my lat, so I was like, oh, I can't go too heavy on that. I had torn my left calf, so I can't. So my entire left body, and I've been working out normal, so it's just been an excuse that I've been using because I was comfortable, and comfort is a killer. You can't get comfortable, and I think that was the biggest thing is, during the training scenario, I looked back, and it's just like my relationships. I looked back on that training scenario with a million different things I could have done differently that wouldn't have resulted in me dying in that scenario. And you pick at it and you're like, I could have done this, I could have done that. Well, I could have. But you know what? What am I preparing for, and where am I going to go from here? All right. Because I can't change that. And that was a life lesson. They meant to teach me that lesson. And maybe heartbreak is a life lesson. I don't know. It happens to me a lot. Someone in one of my other videos like, yo, you get your heart broken. I do. I'm sorry. I fall in love. I commit. I want to be happy. I want to be with that person. I see in that person, unfortunately, things that I kind of portray onto them, and then I find out after that they are not that person. And it isn't always that way. I mean, I get my heart broken and I do still speak with the person. In this particular case, I will never speak to this person again. This is just a whole extra what is it, like an extreme pre-workout powder level of stuff, you know, the ones they took off the market back in the day because they were just too much, just heart attack level extreme pre-workouts. But I don't plan on having a heart attack. I plan on beating the hell out of this pain and using this motivation to change. So keep your heads up. If you're ever in this situation, it's a chance to level up, man. And to me, you know, this is a whole other side quest in life. I'm on my main mission. I've been doing good on my main mission. My main life is doing good. Financially, I'm great. At work, I've never gotten a better evaluation than I did this year. I'm doing great in that main mission. This is just a side quest that I need to conquer, get as much shit on the side quest as I can, you know, the skins, the armor, you name it, and then come back to my original quest and hopefully find someone, maybe. Who knows? You got to be positive. But the thing is, I'm not in a hurry to jump into that relationship portion of it. I don't really want to lose this anger or this motivation or this hate. I don't. Wow. I hate to say it. I missed it. Is that weird? Is someone out there who's had their heart broken more than once and then realized missed this part of you, this version of you that is like, you know what? I'm going to overcome this. I was asleep at the wheel. Like, I'm a completely different person. And hopefully I can update you guys real soon, on my further progress. Like I said, already like 10 pounds down, and I'm kicking ass. I have 100% motivation to do this. This side quest is a whole DLC. It's not even a side quest. It's a DLC, and I'm going to go ahead and conquer the hell out of it. Y'all have a great day, guys. Thank you for your support. If you're down in the trenches, get on up out of there.
Just for a laugh. Where's your fucking rage? Your self-respect? Sitting here in your little share circle, having a little whinge and a moan. Fuck letting go. You should be out there with a fucking chainsaw going after him.